What the hell do you have on?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Connoisseur's Conversation. I think I got a vibe for you guys, as always. Today, I want to talk about autumn fragrances. It's beginning to be that season. We've been approaching it here in Southeast Michigan well into the 2-week term now. It's been getting really, really chilly here. And it's one of my favorite seasons to wear fragrances. I swear, when it comes to autumn temperatures, it fluctuates. It's my birthday time. It's an affair for festivities and family gatherings. And a list that can go into this. This is really a list for the young and sexy with a mature attitude. So today I want to talk about autumn fragrances that are sexy, sweet, grown, and addictive. So when it comes to autumn, we have a way of sharpening our senses. Really, the air gets to be crisper, the days get to be shorter, and suddenly when we look at our fragrance collection, we start to gravitate towards the ones that are felt to be a little too heavy for summerside, or summertime, I should say. So today, in this particular list, I want to talk about fragrances that are easily fall staples. They are ones that are, when you talk about stepping into a deeper, richer scent, a scent with an edge, a scent with intrigue, a sense of mystery. These are fragrances that don't just sit on your skin. I love the way that these ones can do a projection and a sillage bubble that is magnificence. They speak to others and they speak to you as well. They create this persona for you that is more outgoing, more intriguing, and more elaborate, so to speak. And in that's what this is about. This season, sexy, grown, and addictive. So as the shadows lengthen and the air becomes crisper, let's get into exactly what that is. If this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuances of scent, cigars, and wines. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's wonderful experience. As always, as I state, I got a vibe for you guys today. We're going to talk about seasonal fragrances that really become grown, sexy, and addictive. The compositions I want to put out to you guys today are just that emphatically they are the ones that grow on people. They are the ones that bring out an elaborate feel to you. Your personality and persona is elevated with the sex appeal. I got one honorable mention I want to get out the way first because it's one of my favorite going into the season, and I cannot wait to wear this particular scent profile for the grown man sexy style that I want to have in. So let's get right into that honorable mention right now. So the first one, as I mentioned, it's one of my favorite grown and sexy fragrances. This is a fragrance from the house of by Kilian, one of the very first patchouli fragrances that I fell in love with. It is patchouli, dried fruits, and rum with a little bit of cedar wood in it. That's the totality of the scent, but not the totality of the essence. One of the very best masculine, grown and sexy, boozy, seductive fragrances that you will ever come across. The lack of this one and the con about this one is the variation in which it is produced and the actual performance can portray itself. They came out with an extreme version, which I implore them, if they ever come out with a cellar edition of this one and they make it extreme, to go out and buy that particular scent, because this one here is one of the most sexy patchouli fragrances that you will ever come across. It has, like I stated, the sex appeal of patchouli, the sex appeal of dried fruits, and the sex appeal of rum. In total, grown, man, sexy, addictive, and alluring. Full stop. That's what you get from this particular scent, and that's why it's an honorable mention on this list. Now let's break it to the list in total with the unisex appeal to give you everything you want going into the fall of 2025 with the best of sexy, grown, and alluring fragrances. So first up in this list, this is one I like to call the Crown's Command. It is one that is devastatingly beautiful. It's leather. It's a fragrance that has this unusual take on leather. It comes in two flavors, I would say. It's a raw one and a rugged one, while still having a smooth and polished tonality to it. This is Thameen Regent leather, forgive me. Regent leather is a leather that is supple. It leans toward the sexy and polished style, while still having that real rugged feel to it. What makes this sexy is that it's a buttery, smooth leather mixed with an abundance of spices like saffron and vanilla. Instead of conjuring a baker's feel for that, conjure a biker's jacket for that. This is the one that feels more like walking into a luxury boutique or driving a luxury automobile. It was actually stated that this fragrance was used to commemorate the actual interior of the Rolls Royce with the Rolls Royce Club of England. They got together with Thameen and came up with the perfect scent that smelled exactly like the interior of a Rolls Royce. And I tell you, it is one of, by far, one of the sexiest fragrances that you can put your nose on. I know the House of Thameen is one of those houses that deems itself, that many of us, not many of us, I love the House of Thameen. I'll say this, Thameen is a great fragrance house. I have 3 or 4 of their fragrances in my collection that really do the job that they are tasked to do for me and my blend series and me and my wearing scenarios. So I state this to you. If you are looking for a fall fragrance that has a spark of vanilla, a spark of saffron, while still being grown and sexy, addictive, get your nose on Thameen Regent Leather, because it's a versatile fragrance. You can wear this with a suit, or you can dress it down with a smooth cashmere sweater. You can have this with the even a casual double-faced jogging suit, something that's just smooth, form-fitting, or at least tailor-fitting style. And it doesn't come off as what I would say is overwhelming. It's one of those scents that is elegant, it's balanced, and it has enough strength to carry you through a chilly autumn night. And that's exactly what you want from a fragrance like this. You go to a bar, you by yourself, the game is on at 8 p.m. at night, the ladies are sitting next to you drinking a Merlot. When you have this on, you won't leave without 2 or 3 phone numbers in your hand. This is Regent Leather from the House of Thameen. Get your nose on that, fellas. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, let's get our nose on the addictive flame of Doza from the House of Narcotica. This one here opens with a burst of juicy fruits and spices. Then it slides into a warm, ambery, smoky, woody fragrance that is so unexpected from an amber scent. It has a little bit of a peculiarity to it in the opening, but don't let that deride you from trying the scent. This one here is a resinous, church-like quality of amber and incense. While almost being meditative, it is one that is very, very, very sexy on skin. The sensuality makes it modern feeling while also being addictive. The way that they made this one, people say it smells like a candlelit lounge. I've seen that in several different appropriately written reviews. I can kind of attest to that. It does smell like a candlelit lounge where you're going in and the incense is burning, but it's one where the amber smoke hangs around in the air. It's more smooth than it is rough. It's more magnetic than it is off-putting, and it's more incoming of drawing people in than putting people off. But it is peculiar, and it is sexy, and it has that grown man sex appeal. I would say that if you want to have this one in, try it for yourself in a sample form. Put on Doza in one of those autumn nights where you want to go out and it's cooler than usual. And it's one that you want to go out with a female, or even my ladies who watch them with a guy, and you're wearing something that is very sensual. You're wearing something that is very sexual. So when you want to go out to somewhere that might be outdoors with a nice little fireside burning, wood around you, nice little restaurant outdoors with the patio style, or even to a park, or someone just walking hand in hand where you know you're going to park far away from a restaurant, and let this come across their nose with that cool breeze. It's one that really puts a stake in the game for you to be the sexiest smelling person in the room. It is an amber based fragrance through and through. It is sexy, it is appealing, and it is for the grown, sexy, and addictive wearer of perfume. So get your nose on Doza from the House of Narcotica, a very addictive, different path taken amber woody fragrance that has a peculiarity to it because of a little bit of an opening of juniper and pine. But once you get past that, and if you enjoy that, you're going to love it. If you get past that, because most people say that's the part where they don't like, if you can get past that green, you're going to be just fine with this particular scent, because the base of about 2 hours, I wouldn't even say 2 hours, 45 minutes in, it becomes a sexy, appealing, just earth-shattering amber fragrance. So get your nose on that. That's Doza from Narcotica. Sexy. Next up on the list, I want to talk about one of these fragrances in my collection that is a hidden gem. The phantom of all fragrances in my collection is one that's so understated in the community, so undervalued in the community, from Xerjoff K collection. This one here, either it plays beautifully in light and dark scenarios. It's a top that has a crisp spice of almost cleanly crisp spice, while then underneath it have this soft oud and vanilla feel at the base that keeps it grounded, sexy, and appealing. It also has a caramel note in it that just comes off so well. It's what I would say is like this ghostly presence of caramel inside of it, because it doesn't outright and forthright portray itself as a caramel note as much as it smells itself of like a not even gourmand, more of this sexy tonality of sweet ambery woods that smell of a high quality amber. That's the way the caramel come off. So think of a caramel and chocolatey patchouli mix, and then put that around the oud with a nice bright opening. That's what they've done with the house of Xerjoff in this particular scent profile for ether. And I swear, like I stated, it has this opening of nice citrus burst with greenness, and then that green mandarin smell goes into this earthy like patchouli, and then the oud is mixed with the caramel. And this one, when you wear this in the midday and beyond, you're going to come off sexy, addictive, and appealing. This is for one when you want to be slightly smooth and polished in your attire and your wear. You want to feel a little bit mysterious, but you not want to be overpowering everyone's nose around you, because it is one of Xerjoff's fragrances that has a slight bubble to it while still being the perfect bubble for the fragrance. So if you want someone to be addicted to you and smell you and have the wherewithal to come over and speak to you and sit with you, wear ether, and you will not go off without, once again, a couple numbers in your pocket. And if your lover, your lady, likes this particular scent profile, man, get your nose on it to represent for, because this patchouli mix of oud, this nice ambery feel, and that nice caramel, it really does a great trick to the nose. Once again, this is Xerjoff's K collection, Ether. Next up, we're going to talk about the Velvet Outcast. This is the Velvet Outcast to me. This is one is Tabac Rose. This is from BDK Parfums, and it to me is one of the most lush, balanced fragrances in my collection. One that with on one side, you know, it's one of those fragrances, it has, like I just stated, it's lush, it's jammy rose, but on the other side, it's a very dark tobacco, plum, and patchouli fragrance that will pull against light and shadow when you wear it. It's one of those fragrances that when you whiff your nose one way, it smells that light, ethereal, jammy rose, sweet, succulent, but then it goes against that patchouli and tobacco on the other side of your head when you turn in your head. So it's one, it's rich, but it's not heavy, it's sweet, and it's not cloying, and it has the contrast that gives a great interest to you. The romance of the rose in this one is long, that, you know, that comes along in sweetness, and then it has that grit of the tobacco, which makes this one of the, like I stated, well-balanced, sexy, and seductive fragrances that you can put in your collection. The scent, fall evenings, elegance, edgy, share the same room with others, you're gonna smell sexy as hell wearing this particular scent. It has a backbone to it. It has a great projection to it. And it does have a pinned name by Julian Rasquinet that made this particular fragrance. And I think he did one of his best jobs in actually developing this scent profile. So if you have not, I implore you to get your nose on Tabac Rose if you want that grown, sexy appeal. With that sexy appeal of addiction, get your nose and a nice little sample of this one. Wear it on your skin for a few days, a few evenings, a few dates, and see what it does for you. If you're one who can stand, not even stand, if you're one who enjoys the scent of Oud Satin Mood, this is a fragrance that really sits in that same vein, not similar in its scent profile as much as it is that same vein. So the wearing opportunities and scenario of Oud Satin Mood, you will still wear this in that type of scenario and come off just wonderful smelling, sexy, grown, and addictive. Next up on the list, I got my fragrance Sweetie Aoud from the house of Roja Parfums. And yes, forgive me, someone has confiscated my cap, so I have to put on a Armani cap for this particular scent. So forgive that when you're looking at the actual presentation, but know that this is the beautiful Roja Sweetie Aoud. It is, to me, I guess I would call this one the pastry noir, the dark pastry, the sexy, seductive raspberry, blueberry pastry coming from a French oven. While being gourmand, it has enough of the oomph to get it past those who don't like gourmands. This one here, it takes warmth of that pastry, those buttery, flaky sweet tones, and just turns it and layers it over oud with the best of comforting notions that you can get for a gourmand. But to me, it is its best in the fragrance profile with the gourmand edge is there. Where it comes in to be a fragrance to be on this list for the grown man, sexy, and addictive is the fact that it is grounded in this beautiful resinous, oudy depth of a fragrance. That's where it comes in for me and comes in for play, because the patisserie note, I'll say it's there, but it's not something that stays just a part of the event. It's in there in the fragrance, but when it comes to the horizon of this particular scent evolution, it goes away. It becomes more subtle in the take of a gourmand and more resinous, oudy, and sexy as all hell, ambery as well. But that's what makes this sexy and addictive and wearable. It's one that is indulgent for not being loud. You know what I'm saying? It's one that has this autumn feel to it, perfect coziness to it, and just enough mystery to keep everyone around you interested. Great sillage, great projection. The projection is about 2.5 feet. The sillage is about 4 or 5 feet behind you with 6 or 7 sprays. It comes off sexy, sultry, and addictive for the grown and sexy adult looking for a nice, sweet, sexy gourmand. This is the one for you guys to get your nose on. Sexy is all hell. This is Roja Parfums Sweetie Aoud. Indeed, sexy. And at the end of the day, the one that is the bearer of all when it comes to this type of list for me, when it comes to grown, sexy, and addictive, one fragrance that speaks to me in my mind and the notion of having grown, sexy, and just the appeal of what it is to have a fantastic fragrance with a blend, evolution, creativity, and a structure of a niche scent that you won't smell anywhere else. You have the scent of Mortal Skin by the house of Stéphane Humbert. This one here, this is the Serpent. This is the Serpent song. It sings a beautiful, beautiful rhythmic song. It's a fragrance that keeps you guessing. It's mysterious, but it opens with this beautiful laying effect of inky blackberry, which makes it sexy, appealing, and intriguing. But the mystery behind it is the ink as well, because you never, ever, I've never have yet to smell a second ink style of fragrance that really comes off the way that they say it does. It's smooth, it shifts into this incense and leather. It's become sexy, earthy, depthful, and it's one that has this spontaneous combustion of sex appeal when you put it on because of the edgy wear factor, the evolution of it, and the way it feels on your skin. It becomes alive, it becomes motion, it becomes sexy and addictive. To me, for me, this one here, Mortal Skin, is for fall in its most experimental task of wearing a fragrance, because it becomes dark, it becomes unexpected, but it becomes fascinating. And when you come into a season of fall, when you're getting out of those warm days of summer and you want something to really flip the face, to become many faces in the dark, you want something like Mortal Skin, the fragrance that sparks conversation, and this is exactly what it does, and this is exactly what it is. Mortal Skin is that sexy, appealing, niche fragrance that has peculiarities against it. Once again, like Doza, it's a niche fragrance. Be prepared for what niche fragrances bring you, but also be open-minded to how sexy this particular scent can be because of the ink, berry, and incense, and it's a nicely done projection and sillage. It's one that you do not have to do more than 4 sprays on because of the way the scent smells. It's not something that anybody around you has smelled in any way, shape, or form. So even if they pick you up in little whiffs, they're going to know that you have something on super sexy, super addictive, and grown. Get your nose on Mortal Skin from the house of Stéphane Humbert. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this list of grown, sexy, and addictive. These are fragrances in my collection that I implore you to go find in sample form and in some way decant form. They are all ones that I vouch for because I've worn these fragrances in scenarios that I deem fit for this particular video to get out for you. And I hope that you enjoyed this particular content. And if you did, all that I ever ask that you do, hit the like button, subscribe, and send this off to a friend who enjoys fragrance-related content, cigar-related content, and wine-related content. Thank you guys for watching. As always, remember that scent is memory, collecting is legacy, and community is culture. And we here at the Dry Down, we are the culture emphatically. We talk about these fragrances, these cigars, and these scents, and we love and adore this community and this culture. Until next time, have a blessed day. And remember, stay balanced, stay bold, and keep enhancing. See you in the next video. Peace.
Oh.